So all the material I looked at regarding the B trees and the B plus trees has been purely theoretical and very hard to put in practice when it comes to actual real production database systems and linking those two in practice. You know, what you studied in university shows you how to do the math of the B tree and how to traverse. But when you actually know how these things work and used in actual database systems such as Postgres or MySQL or MongoDB, then you're gonna understand the proper path a query takes in order to be optimal using a particular index. So in this video, I want to shed a light about B trees and B plus trees, the evolution of B trees to B plus trees, specifically with regard to production database systems. So if you enjoy this stuff, let's just jump into it. We need to start with the problem. The problem is what we call full table scans. What are those? This is the slowest form of scans. In order to find a particular item, we need to scan the entire table, and that's the original problem that spurs the rest of the discussions here. Then we're going to discuss the B tree, or stands for balanced trees, could be stands for Boeing tree, because that's the research lab that spurred that paper, or can stand for Bayer tree, which is the name of the author of the paper, one of the authors at least. And we're going to talk about the B tree limitations, the limitation of the original proposed B trees and how it was kind of changed and varied to this B plus trees, which is mostly used in all database system. I didn't see any database system use pure B tree and its original, although when you read the papers, when you read the documentation, they refer to it as B tree because that's what it's known, but in fact it might have been B plus tree. And we're going to discuss these discussions. We're going to discuss some considerations when it comes to B plus trees. All right, just discussions and learning the intricacies of the B plus trees, right? Memory usage, storage, stuff like that. And then we're going to talk about how B plus tree storage cost varies in MySQL, specifically AnyDB, because MySQL is a database engine specific, because you can swizzle the database engine underneath MySQL to be anything really. You can put it as a CSV storage, you can put it as AnyDB, that's the default, you can put it as MyASM, you can put it as LSM trees like MyRocks, RocksDB, stuff like that. And we're going to discuss Postgres because these are the most databases that I'm familiar with. I also know a little bit of SQL Server. I'm going to throw in some SQL Server, Oracle stuff, knowledge like that. I'm going to summarize the whole thing. So this is the agenda of this video. Let's just jump into it.